Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have Season 1, Race number 5 of the Procore Cup Series, and today we are here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. As you guys can see, all 40 cars are sitting here on track, waiting to go trackside to get the command to start engines. And also, if you guys remember, the Race 4 winner was Kyle Larson, but because of his indefinite suspension from NASCAR, he has also been suspended here in the Procore Cup Series, so he will no longer be in this season. Obviously, that means he will no longer be in the playoffs either, and Matt Kenseth is taking over for the 42, and there are 10 regular season races, which means Kenseth has 6 races to try to get a win and also get into the top 30 in points if he wants a chance to make it into the playoffs, and he rolls off 6th here today, so maybe he could get it done. He had a fantastic qualifying run for his first race in a year and a half, so we'll see if Kenseth can get the job done. He is definitely a driver to look out for today. And another driver to look out for is Martin Truex Jr. He rolls off 8th here today. Now, he would have been coming into today 17th in the points, just outside of the playoffs, because he has 2 DNFs this year. But because Larson is no longer in the 42, he has been basically eliminated from the series. Now, Truex jumps to 16th in the standings, so as of right now, he holds that final spot in the playoffs, and some guys just outside are guys like Michael McDowell, Daniel Suarez, who both start deep in the field today. We'll see if they can make up some ground, but nonetheless, Truex is definitely a driver to look out for here today. And then another driver to look out for is Kevin Harvick. He starts on the pole. He's had a very strong start to the season. He sits 9th in the standings coming in, but he is still looking to get that first win of the season, and we'll see if he can get it done here today at Atlanta. So those are 3 drivers to look out for here today, and enough of the chatter. Let's go trackside to get the command to start engines. Drivers, start your engines! The engines have been fired here, and the pace car is going to lead them off as the cars roll off here, led by Kevin Harvick. And now let's take a look at today's starting lineup. So on the pole for today's race, like I said, we have Kevin Harvick, and to his outside we have Denny Hamlin. In row number 2, we find Joey Logano and William Byron. Row 3 is Ryan Blaney and Matt Kenseth making his Procore Cup Series debut. In row number 4, we have Kurt Busch and Martin Truex Jr. Rounding out the top 10 today, in row 5 is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Eric Almirola. Row 6 today, we have Brad Keselowski and Alex Bowman. Row 7 is Kyle Busch and Ryan Newman. In row number 8, we have 2 rookies, Cole Custer and Tyler Reddick. Row 9, we have your Daytona 500 winner, Clint Bowyer, and another rookie with Christopher Bell. Row 10, we have the Hendrick teammates, Jimmy Johnson, your points leader, and to his outside, Chase Elliott. And then row 11, we have John Hunter Nemechek and Matt DiBenedetto. Row 12 is Bubba Wallace and Eric Jones. Row 13 is Austin Dillon and Chris Buescher. In row number 14 today, we have Ryan Preece and Ty Dillon. Row 15, I believe this is, we have Brennan Poole and Michael McDowell. In row number 16, we have Corey LaJoie and Daniel Suarez. Row 17 is Quinn Houff and Timmy Hill. We're getting towards the back of the field here. In row 18, we have Garrett Smithley and Gray Galding. Row 19 is BJ McLeod and Joey Gase. And rounding out the field today, in row number 20, we have JJ Yeley and Josh Bilicki. So let's now take a look at today's race info. So it is an 8-lap race here today, and there are 40 cars. So the pace car has pulled off, and Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin lead him to the green. We are green here at Atlanta. We start off with a small flyby of the field. Meanwhile, up front, Kevin Harvick is going to clear Denny Hamlin for the lead, as Ryan Blaney now makes it 3 wide for second. Joey Logano backs out of it. Harvick is going to lead lap 1 as Blaney and Hamlin battle for second. It looks like Blaney is going to clear Denny Hamlin, and now he sets sail on leader Kevin Harvick here. Down the back straightaway, they are side by side. Ryan Blaney is going to clear Harvick on the exit of turn 4, but Kevin Harvick tries the crossover move. They are now side by side here through turns 1 and 2, but Harvick looks like he will take the lead away from Ryan Blaney as they're 3 wide for second. William Byron gets a little bit loose. He nudges Denny Hamlin. That makes some room there for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He takes 3rd away as we are now on lap 4, and we have a crash. Tyler Reddick is around. He goes back up into the field, collects Clint Bowyer. Looks like Bubba Wallace didn't get any contact. Let's take a look at the replay of what happened there. Tyler Reddick went around. So let's take a look at the instant replay. I think Keselowski might have gotten loose underneath Tyler Reddick there. Reddick gets sideways, obviously, and he tries to save it here, but it looks like he just overcorrects it, trying to keep it off the inside wall. and then that launches him back up into the field. Nowhere to go here for the Stewart-Haas teammates of Clint Bowyer and Cole Custer. He hits the left side door here of Bowyer with his back end, and nowhere to go for Cole Custer. He gets kind of pinched into the outside wall there. Now, Bubba Wallace thinks he's going to have enough space here before Reddick comes back down, but he does not. But it looks like Bubba Wallace does not hit anything, and he's going to be able to continue from wherever he was when the caution flag came out. But here's one last look at it. I think, like I said, Keselowski and Reddick were racing side by side. I think that might have been for 14th. And, yeah, Keselowski just got loose, got into the back end of Tyler Reddick and sent him spinning. He overcorrects it, and then right here, he goes back up into the field. Slight contact on Bowyer and Custer. Those two guys might be able to continue with some tape on their cars. And then right here, Bubba Wallace gets the car stopped in time before he makes contact either with Tyler Reddick or the inside wall. So nice job to avoid it by Bubba Wallace. But the cars involved, the only one out of the race is going to be Tyler Reddick. And now Clint Bowyer will get some tape on his left door right there. And in the right front, as you guys can see, he will be able to continue at the back of the field. And Cole Custer does the same thing. He has some tape on the right side from when he got pinched into the outside wall. So now we are getting set for the restart with 3 laps to go. Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney, Ricky Stenhouse, William Byron, and Denny Hamlin is your top 5. As you can see, Bubba Wallace will continue from where he was when the caution flag came out, and Brad Keselowski does not even have to pit. So we are green here now with 3 laps to go. Kevin Harvick and Ryan Blaney lead him to the green, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. looked like he nudged Kevin Harvick just a little bit, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is the leader now. He will lead that lap with 2 laps to go. Hamlin has passed Kevin Harvick. He's now in second, trying to chase Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Does Denny Hamlin have anything for Stenhouse? Coming up on the final lap. Never mind, we have a crash. Alex Bowman is around. He collects Kyle Busch. And the caution flag is out yet again for our second caution of the day. A tough break for Alex Bowman and Kyle Busch. Let's take a look at the replay of what happened here. Now, it looks like Alex Bowman might have thought he was clear of Kyle Busch. He tried to pull down in front of him. Nowhere to go for Kyle Busch. He was just there, and he clips Alex Bowman. Bowman goes straight down into the inside wall head on, and then that sends him back up the track, and he collects Kyle Busch. And guys like Matt Kenseth, Chase Elliott, and Brad Keselowski barely make it through. But let's take a look at it again. It looks like right here, in the replay here when it comes up, it looks like Alex Bowman thought he might have been clear right here. He tried to fit in line in between Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch. Nowhere to go. A hard hit to the inside wall launches him back up the track. Now look at Matt Kenseth and Chase Elliott right here, barely making it through, as well as Brad Keselowski and Christopher Bell. So a very good job for those two guys to make it through this crash. So just a 2-car pileup here. Let's take a look at the cars involved. Now there are only 2, which is Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman, but yeah, it looked like they were about to take the white flag. Ricky Stenhouse and Denny Hamlin might have had a last lap battle for the win, but the caution flag comes out just in time, so we are now headed to overtime. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, your top 5, with Truex, Logano, Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, and Chase Elliott rounding out your top 10. So we have 2 laps to go. We are now in overtime. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Denny Hamlin lead him to the green into turns 1 and 2. It looks like Denny Hamlin is going to clear Ricky Stenhouse Jr. from the outside for the lead, as it looked like William Byron got loose there in turns 1 and 2. But meanwhile, up front, Denny Hamlin leads the lap. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is all over his back bumper, but here comes Ryan Blaney. Blaney clears Stenhouse on the exit of turn 2. Does he have anything for Denny Hamlin here? No, he does not. He tries to make it stick. It works, but it's not enough for Denny Hamlin, and Denny Hamlin wins here at Atlanta. And, yeah, so a great finish, and we have a crash coming across the finish line. It looks like Bubba Wallace and Eric Jones collide. And that's how the race finishes. They collide coming across the finish line. Let's take a look at the replay. So first, we're going to look at the final 2 laps. So Stenhouse and Hamlin led him to the green. Denny Hamlin had a great run in turns 1 and 2. He made the outside lane work. And look at William Byron there. It looked like he made some contact with Kevin Harvick. He got very loose, but he was able to save it. And then here's coming up on the final lap. Denny Hamlin leads, but that speed of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just seemed to fade here on the final 2 laps. In turn 2, Blaney cleared Stenhouse, and then down the back straightaway, Ryan Blaney tried to give everything he could to Denny Hamlin. He even made it stick there, but it just wasn't enough. Denny Hamlin is your winner. Now let's take a look at the replay to see what happened with Bubba Wallace and Eric Jones. I'm not exactly sure. It looks like Bubba made some contact with the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, the back end of Wallace's car, pounds the outside wall, then nowhere to go for Eric Jones. He hits him right in the driver's side door. Bubba gets just a little bit airborne there. We hope he's okay. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure who's at fault there. Jimmy may have gotten loose, or maybe Bubba cut him off. I'm not exactly too sure, but a hard hit for Bubba Wallace in the driver's side door there when he made contact with Eric Jones. We hope both those guys are okay. But meanwhile, Denny Hamlin wins here today at Atlanta. He is going to burn it down here for the fans. And now let's take a look here at today's finishing results. So Denny Hamlin is your winner here today at Atlanta. He is now the 4th driver to punch his ticket into the playoffs. He would have been the 5th, but obviously Kyle Larson is no longer in the series. So Denny Hamlin wins here today. Ryan Blaney gets 2nd. Kevin Harvick led the most laps. He finishes 3rd. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 4th. And Martin Truex Jr. rounds out the top 5. Joey Logano 6th. William Byron 7th. Matt Kenseth comes home with a top 10 in his debut. He finishes 8th. Chase Elliott 9th. And Kurt Busch 10th. A good job today for Chase Elliott. He started 20th. And he ends up finishing 9th. And then Ryan Newman gets 11th. Christopher Bell is the highest finishing rookie in 12th. Matt DiBenedetto 13th. Eric Almirola 14th. Brad Keselowski 15th. Your points leader, Jimmy Johnson, still the points leader after this race, I believe. But we're going to take a look at the point standings after this. But Jimmy gets 16th. Bubba Wallace 17th. Michael McDowell 18th. Eric Jones 19th. And John Hunter Nemechek rounds out the top 20. 21st, Chris Buescher. 22nd, Austin Dillon. 23rd, Daniel Suarez. 24th, Ty Dillon. 25th, Corey LaJoie. 26th, Timmy Hill. 27th, Ryan Preece. 28th, Brennan Poole. 29th, Cole Custer. 30th, Gray Galding. 31st, Quinn Houff. 32nd, Clint Boyer. 33rd, Joey Gase. 34th, Garrett Smith. 35th is Josh Bilicki. 36th, BJ McLeod. 37th, JJ Yaley, who was the last driver on track. And then out of the race was 38th, Kyle Busch. 39th, Alex Bowman. And 40th, Tyler Reddick. So now let's take a look here at the point standings after today's race. So here are the point standings after today's race. Jimmy Johnson is still the points leader. Now the top 4 do not necessarily have the most points, but they're at the top because they already have wins and are already locked into the playoffs, which those 4 are Jimmy Johnson, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, and Clint Boyer. So obviously the top 16 would be in the playoffs as of now. So here are the rest of the top 16. Now, as you guys know, there are 10 regular season races. 5 of them are now complete. So we still have 5 more races until the playoffs begin. But here's a look at the playoff bubble. Right now, Alex Bowman has the last spot. Coming into today's race, Bowman was actually 2nd in the point standings, but he drops 14 positions because of his DNF here today. So that killed him in the points, but he is still in. He's 12 points ahead of Michael McDowell, who has really been keeping himself alive here in the playoff hunt. He had a top 10 at Daytona, and ever since here, now 5 races in, he's still been alive. So Michael McDowell is just outside, as well as guys like Ryan Newman and Daniel Suarez right there, and then also Tyler Reddick and Kyle Busch. Those 2 guys both came into today in the playoffs, but a DNF for both of those guys really hurts them in the standings. They're now back to 20th and 21st. Obviously, they still have 5 races to make it up. Anything can happen, and of course, a win and you're in, so we'll see what happens with those guys, but here are the rest of the standings now. Anybody in the top 30 would be in the point standings, or anybody in the top 30 would automatically be in the playoffs if they got a win, which that's up until 30th right there with John Hunter Nemechek. Matt Kenseth, who just made his debut here today, is already 31st. He's only 4 points away from being locked in with a win, so as long as he wins and finishes 4 spots ahead of John Hunter Nemechek, then Kenseth would be locked in as well if he got a win. So here are the rest of the point standings, all the way down to Josh Bilicki in 40th. So that is the point standings. Here's one final look at the playoff bubble. So next race is going to be Richmond. I do plan on having that race out in just about a week and a half. Race 6 should be posted, so make sure to stay tuned for that. So yeah, Denny Hamlin is your winner here today at Atlanta. Congratulations to him. And now he joins Jimmy Johnson, Joey Logano, and Clint Boyer as the 4 guys being locked into the playoffs so far. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to stay tuned for race number 6 at Richmond, and I will see you guys next time.